Dear Dean, graduates, faculty members and other guests. My name is Andreas Nilsson and it's a big honor for me standing here today representing the Savings Bank Foundation of Färs & Frosta, Sparbanksstiftelsen Färs & Frosta, joint owner of Sparbanken Skåne. We are honored to be invited here on a yearly basis to hand out scholarships to students attending LTH. Sparbanksstiftelsen Färs & Frosta, together with Sparbanken Skåne, support the society in Skåne by giving support to non-profit organizations and projects within the areas of education, culture, research and sports. And today we will hand out 2 scholarships to 3 students for their master theses and 1 scholarship to 1 person for her doctoral thesis. And we will start with the master theses. The first scholarship goes to Johanna Brismark för her work Återbruk och återbrukbarhet inom byggbranschen, en studie av hinder och utvecklingsmöjligheter med fokus på korslimmat trä. And the second scholarship is shared by 2 people and it goes to Gerda Sidvall Tygesen and Gabriella Ljunggren for their work Exploring the Implementation of an Inclusive Short Food Supply Chain, a case study of how to successfully link small-scale farmers to the local business sectors in Kenya. The motivation is as follows. Bägge dessa examensarbeten är utförda på ovanligt hög nivå, är av ovanligt stor omfattning och är synnerligen välskrivna. Arbetena behandlar aspekter av 2 helt olika problemområden som bägge har stor betydelse för samhällets ekonomiska, ekologiska och sociala hållbara utveckling. Bygg- och fastighetssektorn karaktäriseras av att investeringar har mycket lång livslängd men med återkommande underhåll och ombyggnad och relativt låg grad av återbruk. Johannas arbete ökar förståelsen för återbrukets olika processer och identifierar både hinder och utvecklingsområden. Korslimmat trä är ett material som lämpar sig väl för återbruk, men för att möjliggöra detta måste design och byggprocesser anpassas. Examensarbetet ger ny och användbar kunskap för aktörer inom byggbranschen och för utformning av styrmedel för ökat återbruk av byggmaterial i framtiden. Gerda och Gabriella har utfört sitt arbete i Kenya inom ramarna för Sidas stipendieprogram för Minor Field Studies. Att stärka de småskaliga producenternas förmåga att leverera närproducerad mat mer direkt till konsumenterna är mycket viktigt för både utvecklingsländer såväl som för landsbygdsutveckling i till exempel Sverige. Arbetet behandlar speciellt korta, hållbara och ekologiska försörjningskedjor i Kenya och ger rekommendation till såväl uppdragsgivaren som andra ideella organisationer och småskaliga producenter i liknande situationer som vill utveckla korta, hållbara försörjningskedjor. Congratulations! Sparbanksstiftelsen Färs & Frostas forskningspris för särskilt framstående avhandlingsarbete ska delas ut till en person för god forskning inom företrädesvis hållbar utveckling. Avhandlingsarbetet ska vara till gagn för utveckling av näringsliv och samhälle. Finally, our scholarship for an excellent doctoral thesis goes to Randi Finney for her work Solar Assisted Pervaporation, a process for the concentration of fruit juices in membrane pouches with solar energy. And the motivation is as follows. Randi Finney's doctoral thesis consists of a comprehensive summary and 6 papers, of which 4 are currently published and 2 more in progress. During her time as a PhD student, Randi Finney was co-author to 4 additional papers and made contributions at 6 international conferences and workshops. Randi Finney's thesis is an excellent example of multidisciplinary work in the areas of food engineering and environmental and sustainable development. Furthermore, her fieldwork has had a benefit to the local development of business and society in Mozambique. Her thesis work was built upon the following question. What if we could reduce fruit spoilage with breathable pouches and solar energy? The reason being that in many low-income countries, enough food is grown to feed the population, yet many still go hungry. At the same time, the amount of spoiled food in the world is constantly increasing, with estimates showing that 1/3 of food produced worldwide for human consumption never makes it to our kitchens and instead spoils somewhere along the food chain. Food waste and environmental and climate impact of our food system is one of the most salient challenges of our time. The research presented in Randy's thesis has looked at answering this question by challenging the traditional view on solar drying with a process called solar-assisted pervaporation. With this process, fruit juices are concentrated into marmalade by filling breathable membrane pouches with juices and then solar drying the pouches for a number of days. The process was developed and evaluated in Sweden at Lund University and in Mozambique with researchers from University Eduardo Mondlane and smallholder farmers in a rural area in the province of Inhambane. In Sweden, the work consisted of controlled laboratory experiments and mathematical modeling to gain insight into the heat and mass transport phenomena occurring inside and outside the pouch during simulated solar drying. In Mozambique, the focus was on evaluating the performance of the membrane pouches with citrus fruit juices under realistic outdoor conditions to determine how solar drying setup and choice of juice pretreatment affect the drying rate and microbiological quality. An essential and unique part of Randy's research was the development and evaluation of the process in a rural area of Mozambique with the help of smallholder farmers, as well as researchers from University Eduardo Mondlane in Mozambique, the Institute for Rural and Regional Research in Norway, and the Division of Energy and Building Design at Lund University in Sweden. By taking a multidisciplinary approach that involved the farmers, it was possible for them to play an active role in the development of the process and for the researchers to receive important feedback on not only technical aspects, but also social, economic, and even logistical aspects of the process. In parallel to the experiments, Randy also taught the local people about food preservation and food safety and instructed them on how to make marmalade with traditional methods on site where the fruits are grown. This had positive impact on the local people and resulted in the creation of small businesses and fruit preservation learning centers in both rural and urban areas of Mozambique. For this reason, we feel this thesis is an excellent example of an engineering project with a direct link to the Sustainable Development Goals relating to zero hunger, climate, and sustainable production and consumption. Congratulations.